Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. On my way to go get it. Thank God it's Friday. On the road to 2K, man. We hit that 1,600 mark and we climbing, man. On the road to 1,700. Let's get to 1,700 now, man. I appreciate the nation and the mob for doing what they doing. You know what I mean? Shout out to them for making it possible. All right, y'all, let's talk about the fights that had happened last night, man. You know what I mean? I don't even want to speak on Keyshawn and Jose Pedraza. You know what I mean? I said what I said on my live, man. If you ain't get the chance to check it out, go check it out, man. You know what I mean? I provided over 3.5 hours of content for the people. You know what I mean? Giving my live fight commentary and all that. So if you didn't see that, go check it out. Shout out to Keyshawn for the victory, man. He got the stoppage over Jose Pedraza. It was a sensational performance. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him for pulling off the victory. But let's get into what everybody's talking about, and that's the fight between Teofimo Lopez and Jamaine Ortiz, okay? Now, going into my video, I had predicted that Teofimo Lopez would win. You know what I mean? I said that he would win, but I had the impression that he would win convincingly. You know what I mean? I had the impression that he would win convincingly. I even thought that the stoppage could have been possible, because I thought that Jamaine Ortiz's tendency to get greedy would have got him timed with a great shot, because Teofimo has good timing. He's a good counter puncher. So I thought that would have played a big factor in the fight. However, Jamaine Ortiz came out with a beautiful game plan, man. He boxed beautiful. Was not allowing Teofimo to set his feet at all throughout the course of the fight, and essentially exposed Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? We already knew that Teofimo Lopez had trouble with boxers that could move. You know what I mean? We seen it with the Sandor Martin fight, which a lot of people believe that Sandor Martin had gotten the victory over Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? And just exposed Teofimo's inability to cut off the ring. You know what I mean? Jamaine Ortiz had a beautiful game plan, somebody that could switch from orthodox to southpaw, still southpaw the entire time, and was just providing a lot of movement, man. And then on top of that, finding his spots and working his combinations, was much more active than Sandor Martin, in my opinion. And it was a good performance, man. In all honesty, bro, just like a lot of people say on here, Tim Bradley had Jamaine Ortiz winning, Terrence Crawford had Jamaine Ortiz winning, Shakur Stevenson had Jamaine Ortiz winning. There's a lot of credible boxing guys that believe that Jamaine Ortiz did enough to get the victory last night and become the WBO junior welterweight champion. You see what I mean? However, the judges had seen it a completely different way. Steve Weisfeld, bro, who I've met before, and I held him as a pretty good judge. But in all honesty, man, all respect left for Steve Weisfeld after this fight right here. 117, 111. You only gave Jamaine Ortiz 3 rounds, bro. 3 fucking rounds. After that boxing display, there was a lot of rounds that were identical, where Jamaine Ortiz was being effective with his style, was not allowing Teofimo to set his feet at all. You know what I mean? And was getting outboxed, running into shots, and you know what I mean, running into check hooks, and getting hit with clean left hands and just completely turning them. Teofimo was getting so frustrated that with his inability to cut off the ring, that he was even giving up. You know what I mean? He was giving up being the aggressor and allowing Jamaine Ortiz to come forward. You know what I mean? Trying to get him to follow him to the corner. And then Jamaine Ortiz was piling up points, bro, landing 4 or 5 punch combinations whenever he was coming forward. You see what I'm saying? Now, did Jamaine Ortiz land any devastating shots that hurt Teofimo or discouraged Teofimo at all? No, he didn't. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Power is not the end-all, be-all of boxing. You know what I mean? Boxing, like Terrence Crawford said, is hit and not get hit. You see what I'm saying? Hit and not get hit. And that's what Jamaine did best tonight. You know what I mean? Like, Teofimo had moments where he would land like sharp counters, he would land sharp uppercuts, and you know, things of that nature, because Teofimo's a good counter puncher. But was it the most devastating shots? No, it wasn't. Jamaine didn't really look discouraged by Teofimo power, neither. You see what I'm saying? So it was a fight where no really big devastating shots were being landed, but it was clear what was going on, and it was that Jamaine Ortiz was completely outboxing Teofimo. Now, for the people that's coming out here and saying that Jamaine Ortiz ran and you got to do more to beat the champion, bro, all of that shit is easily easily disregarded due to the fact that not only, according to the stats, the punch stats, Jamaine Ortiz not only outlanded Teofimo, but he outthrew the man as well. So how can you necessarily say that this man is running when, according to these stats that people hold so highly, CompuBox stats, whatever the hell you want to call them, outthrew Teofimo? So not only was he busier throughout the course of 12 rounds, he outlanded Teofimo throughout the course of 12 rounds. So what does that really say? What does that really say? Jamaine Ortiz stuck by the simple principle of boxing, hitting the man and not getting hit. You know what I mean? I had Jamaine Ortiz winning 9-3, 8-4. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario, withdrawal. I don't know how you could look at this 12-round fight and give Teofimo more than 6 rounds. You see what I'm saying? This is what I honestly believe. I think that a draw is way more than generous. I thought it was a clear-cut victory for Jamaine Ortiz. You see what I'm saying? And I think Teofimo had the impression that he was losing because Teofimo Sr. is whispering in his ear in the corner, telling him stuff, and Teofimo's making faces as if he doesn't like what he's being told. And I'm sure Teofimo Sr. was keeping it real with him, like, yo, you need a knockout, or you might be down in this fight. You know what I mean? I guarantee you that's what Teofimo Sr. was saying. Because it wasn't like they came out and spoke about an injury or anything of that nature. Bro, he whispered in his ear and told his son, yo, you might be losing this fight, or you're down in this fight. You see what I'm saying? Or you need the knockout to win this fight. That's what I personally believe was being said. Now, Teofimo not only was emotional after he was declared the victory, but was emotional prior to the victory. You see what I'm saying? Looked like he was having like a mental breakdown. It looked like he was having a whole meltdown before the fight. You see what I'm saying? I mean, before the decision was made. He was saying things like, oh, don't nobody want to fight me. Don't nobody want to fight me. Don't nobody, but like with like teary-eyed, like he was on the verge of like breaking down emotionally. See, now that's somebody who isn't truly confident in either the work they put in or is not confident in their abilities overall. Teofimo knows he has things to work on at the gym. He knows he's limited as a fighter, and this just further exposed him. Now, if y'all gonna go on here and say that Shakur is scared of punchers, this is something that Teofimo said. Oh, every time he faces a puncher, he's scared. He's scared to get hit. Well, I'll tell you this: every time you fight a boxer that can move, you get exposed. You have a tough fight. You can't cut off the ring. You know what I mean? Not only that, you completely abandon your jab. Don't put your combinations together. You rely on your athleticism to try to land the kill shot, whether it's like a leaping left hook like Roy Jones, or you know what I'm saying, you lead with a right hand and completely fall over. Jamaine Ortiz smothering you, turning you, bringing himself back to the center of the ring and throwing little combinations, little flurries and shit, completely throwing you off of your game. You so frustrated, you talking in the ring, you know what I mean, your body language don't look good going back to your corner. Bro, I see it all. I pay attention to those type of details because I am a boxing coach myself. I know what I'm looking at, and there's nobody on this internet that could tell me that Teofimo Lopez beat Jamaine Ortiz last night. You see what I mean? But, you know, this is exactly why boxing fans are decreasing each time, because not only does it take long for the best to fight the best, not only does boxing not cater to his fans, you know what I mean? But whenever we get a somewhat decent fight, politics take over. You know what I mean? The corruption of boxing shows its ass every time. You know what I mean? And this is why a lot of people are discouraged into being boxing fans, and that's why I mean, there's some shitty decisions that go on in the UFC, but it's way less of a problem over at the UFC. So they'd rather go watch that fight over there. They getting the fights that they want. You know what I'm saying? They promoting the fights the right way. They putting stack cards. And, you know what I mean? They delivering. Boxing is not doing that. You see what I mean? So, it is what it is. That's my whole take on the whole situation. Teofimo Lopez gets exposed by a Puerto Rican fighter after talking all that shit about Puerto Rican fighters. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Teofimo won. You know what I mean? The text in the history books is going to say Teofimo defeated Jamaine Ortiz. But at the end of the day, we all know what happened. Even the Teofimo fans. You know what I mean? That's why they coming out right now and they saying, oh, I don't want to see Jamaine Ortiz ever fight again. That's translation for I don't ever want to see Jamaine Ortiz fight Teofimo again or be relevant again and a possibility of him getting a rematch with Teofimo. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Because if Teofimo would have dominated, let's say Teofimo would have cut off the ring and would have did his thing, nobody would have been saying, oh, I don't never want to see Jamaine Ortiz again. They'd have been like, oh, Teofimo is the best. Oh, he's the man at 140. You see what I'm saying? That's what they would have said. So that's just them expressing their fears for Jamaine Ortiz style. But I hope Jamaine Ortiz hold his head up. You know what I mean? I'm sure his stock went up after this fight, and I'm sure he'll get another opportunity. You know what I mean? He came up short against Lomachenko, you know what I mean, which a lot of people thought was close. And there's a lot of people that believe that he beat Teofimo, especially like the hardcore boxing fans, along with the real boxers, retired boxers, commentators, analysts, that are coming out and saying Jamaine Ortiz won that fight. You see what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But that's a part of the sport that we in. Hopefully there'll be a change coming, you know what I mean, where fighters will get their fair shake. But it is what it is. That's my whole opinion on the situation. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for watching. I'm out of here, man. Peace.